Hello, my name is Mark Roy, and I'm here on behalf of Somebody Cares International, led by Doug Stringer. We were very honored this last week to be able to go on behalf of the network to go to the Philippines to begin to look and see what we can do to further the aid that we have already been doing through other partners there to help with the relief efforts after Typhoon Yolanda. As a small team of us traveled up from Dulang, from Palo into out of Ormoc on our way to Cloben, we were driving down the road just looking at destruction. There's just what was once a beautiful coastline on the right, and yet you could see housing all the way on the left-hand side that used to be standing. Most of it was knocked down. And as we were driving, there was another road that was shooting off from the main street where we were, and there was a small little esplanade that was there, kind of like a little centerpiece that split the two streets. And in that place, my friend Mike Lynch said, "Hey, stop here, stop here." And we looked, and in this little piece of ground, not very big at all, people had begun to put crosses, begin to write names on the crosses. And there was a young couple that was there, maybe 28 years old, something like that. They were holding a little baby, and another teenager, maybe 15 or 16 years old. And our team, we got out and we began to talk to them, and they began to tell us a story. They actually showed us the place where their house used to stand. They say that the water was somewhere around 25 feet and it just rushed into their home. And as secure as they were trying to be, great devastation came to their house. That day, 2 of their children were washed out. That day, both their parents were lost. That day, 2 sisters were gone. That day, an aunt was gone. And he said it was literally like this, that 1 second they were all together, and then just like that, they were gone. They were never found. They were never seen again. And they had built these little crosses and wrote names, and there was the candles that were there. And they were coming and they were, I guess, just praying, trying to find some type of connection to the people that they lost. And it's one thing to lose someone, but it's even harder when you lose someone and you never find them. And yet, it's in times like that that we are thankful that we have a God that cares. I can honestly say there wasn't one single one of us that knew what to say. But the only thing that we could say is that there's a God that knows what you're going through. And there's a God that cares for you. And that your future doesn't have to be necessarily defined by your past. But please realize there is a God that is there that loves you. We were able to give them a little bit of money and just bless them and pray for them. But that one experience, though we couldn't talk to many because we were trying to get as many places as we could just to see where we could help the most, that was a story that in my heart that really defined that whole experience for me. Is that though we see this big, huge event that took place, over 6,000 people lost, it comes down to individual families that have lost so much. And I can honestly say the Filipino people are some of the gracious, hardworking people I've ever seen. But they need our help. They need the help of the world just to begin to put together their lives again. Simple, wonderful, hardworking people. But meeting that family saw that. Of course, we asked him, "So what do you do for work?" And he says, "Well, I used to do this, but I can't do it now because there's no power, there's no work." And that's another reason why it's so important that we bring aid in, that we bring food and we bring medicine, that we begin to bring supplies in that can help them rebuild their lives. And to say to rebuild their lives right now, we're not talking about rebuilding homes. We're talking about tarps. We're talking about hand tools. We're talking about buying nails. We're talking about buying buckets. Simple things that will just give them a little bit of normality in the midst of this new reality that's been given to them and the aftermath of Typhoon Yolanda. And so I want to encourage you today, as you hear my words of report, giving you a firsthand testimony of what we saw on the ground, I want to remind you that there is great need in the Philippines. And would you partner with us so that we can help the people that have been so impacted with the devastation from Typhoon Yolanda?